everybody. This is Jeff Hesser. I'm the Mid-Atlantic Regional Sales Manager. Hello and welcome, and thank you for attending part 3 of the CAST Lighting Virtual Sales Series. We will be recording this session for you to view at a later date. Please take notes and write down any questions for your sales team to address later. There'll be a lot of things we're going over here. You can contact myself, Jeff Hesser, Mid-Atlantic Salesman, Matt Ryan, the Southeast Salesman, Ryan Miller, our Northeast Salesman, or of course, Greg Schramer. I also want to thank Judy, our marketing girl, or woman, for putting together the library in which we are going to be using for this template. She did a really bang up and tremendous job. So thank you so much for that. And Dave for putting this all together. Next, I'd like to introduce Greg Schramer, our Midwest salesman, who has spent years teaching himself this powerful Excel tool. As a former contractor, he saw value in putting together an amazing design and presentation using this free software available to all of you. So what Greg's going to do today is he's going to share with you his years of experience of putting together a great presentation. And I'm omitting some more. And without further ado, Greg, thanks a lot for putting this together, and it's all yours.
Thank you, Jeff. Hello, everybody. Again, my name's Greg Schramer, and I actually learned to do my designs in Excel. I was never trained. I trained myself, but this is what I'm going to show you today is over 20 years of my experience working in Excel. One of the first things that you're going to want to do is download our template, which we will provide, and it will have all these tabs on the bottom for you to access, our different fixtures. All right. So when you download it, first thing you want to do is save this thing as the CAST original template. I don't care what you call it, CAST original design template. You want to save it as that original. Then you're going to reopen this thing up and you're going to hit file up in the left-hand corner. And you want to hit save as, call it Smith job, whatever you want to call it. And we'll do that right now. Smith res, okay. And I'm going to hit save. Know where you're saving it. I know where that's saved. It's on my desktop. So we've got the picture. Now you've saved as. This way, if you make a mistake, you're not corrupting the original. You always have that, which you will make mistakes initially and you might not figure out how to get back out of it. So hopefully you will. All right, so once we've downloaded it, we've saved it. You want to know, I'm going to teach you where your tools are that we're mostly going to be working with. Obviously, you're going to have the work toolbox on the bottom here. Up here, you're going to have your tools for insert. We'll be using this. This is where we'll go to actually bring in an image. And then as we go, I'll show you some other cool tools that come up here in your bar up here. So I'm going to switch to this template so I can show you how to insert it. And in this case, we've made like a graph paper. Very easy to do. You will click up in the far left-hand corner. You see this little box and a little arrow or triangle face down. If you click that, it highlights your entire document. From here, you can set your columns and height and width. So I always set them to the same width as my rows would have been. So they're at 20, set that at 20. And so my rows must have been bigger. You can always click here and see what they were at. So I'm going to switch that to 26 and just make them the same. 26. Now we've got a nice graph paper to work with. Now we're ready to insert our image. The image that you're going to insert was either sent to you by a client or you went out and took a picture of the residence. You brought it, you downloaded it to your computer, and then you're going to go and find it. So I'm going to hit insert, picture. You're going to see other things here, but we're inserting a picture right now. The picture is from this device because I saved it on this device. Click that. It'll open up And in this case, I've been working in this folder, so it does have the image here. The Smith residence image is what I labeled it. Click it, go down to the bottom. You can see it's here in the file name. Hit insert, and it'll import this in here. If you do not have the upper left-hand box checked, this image could end up anywhere on this page. So let me just undo and show you. Okay, so there's undo. Again, you can see I'm clicked in the far left-hand corner, insert, picture, this device, select your image, insert it, boom. From here, you can size it by grabbing these little corners. You can see the image is highlighted. The other thing I want to point out is this changed up here. You added another item here that's called picture format. We'll be using that in this presentation. So right now we need to make this a little bigger. It's a little small. You can simply grab the corner and pull it to make it bigger. If by chance you grab here, you're going to distort the image. So you want to grab the corner handles here. Let me hit undo. You're going to want to know where undo and redo is, because you'll be using those a lot, especially when you're first learning this thing. So I'll hit undo. We're back to the original drawing. Okay, so that's how you bring in an image to here. As we start to put our fixtures in here, which is going to be the next step on our design, we would go to the bottom panels here, and you'd pick the picture you're going to put in there. You'd click it. You're going to need to copy it. You can either copy it up here or right click it and hit copy this way. I'll copy it. I'm going to go back to my original picture. And actually, I want to go back to the design template I already started, because this would take too much time right now for you guys. So I want to go back up here. You're going to see this is where we grabbed and copied our image. There's a little corner box here with an arrow. I want you to click that. That way this opens up our clipboard. This is where everything we copy and are going to paste, it'll end up in your clipboard. So from the clipboard, we can actually add an image to here. So I'm going to click this. And where did it go? Oh, it went way over to the far left. If you click on your image before you paste the fixture, it will post it up, place it up in the top left-hand corner. Let me hit undo, get rid of that. Now, how do you know if you're on your image clicked? Watch what happens when I click it. Again, you'll see these little circles show up. I know I'm clicked on my image. Now, if I insert this, it throws it up here. It's easy to find. When you're working on a large project, if you don't do this, these things can end up all over, and you'll have to try to find them. And the only way to really find them is to actually go down here to the lower left-hand or lower right-hand corner of your screen. And this is the zoom button for your whole picture. And I'm just going to leave that right there. So you can zoom down and you'd see the fixtures. They could be way off the screen. So you always want to make sure you click your image, then paste the fixture you were pasting. So image is pasted. We're going to pull it down and place it here so you can all see it a little better. Now we need to get this fixture to scale. So what we can do is simply, like I said before, is grab the corners, and I can scale this thing down. Okay, I want to bring it a little smaller. We're going to be focusing right here. This has not been lit yet with fixtures, so we're going to place our fixtures there. We're going to place a path light, one on each side of the patio or the entrance here. Shrink this down, little big. Once you get it to the proper looking scale, now you're going to go back up and copy that. Otherwise, if I paste this one, it's going to be a big fixture again, and I want to get it the same size as the other one so they're the same scale. So go up, hit undo, get rid of that, hit copy. You can right click your mouse, hit copy from here, or go up here, copy. As things get smaller, this is a little harder to do because you might move your fixture a little bit or something. So I do like to come up here and hit copy. So now I've got two of the path lights. This is the larger one. I'm just going to delete that. This is the one that we'll be working with. Because I have this highlighted already, it's going to place it right next to it. See that? So now we can grab this image and bring it over to the other side. Boom. All right. So we got those last of the two path lights placed. They're still both a little bigger than what I want. You can, this is where you can select both of them by hitting your shift button on your keyboard and then click the, you have to have the first one clicked, hit shift, click on your next one. It'll allow you to pick both of them and have them highlighted. Now I can shrink them both down, and I'm going to show you a little trick for that. Go to picture format, because we're going to format these fixtures. Up in the upper left hand corner, this is where we can size that down a little more. This will do it in big increments, as you can see. If you want to fine tune a little better, click the corner. It opens up that entire box. I need to drag that open a little bigger so you can see it. Here, this is where it does that increments. This is the same as what we're seeing here. Down here is %. So you want to make sure that these boxes are clicked. This is what keeps this looking just like it is when we size it. The images should come in already sized and those boxes clicked. But if you created your own thing on here, you would want to make sure that those are clicked. So in order to scale this down in smaller increments versus those big ones, you hit the % signs here, and that scales it at a slower pace to get it just how you want it. They're still both highlighted. I can grab one of these because they're both highlighted, and I can place them both together just like so. Now my path lights are placed, okay? The next step is we're gonna add 2 bullets here to actually highlight the urns and then throw some light up onto this nice entranceway. This was a little difficult because of this big slab they got here and the drop off and all that, but this is what we did for this design. So I wanna go down here because we're gonna insert these little path lights again. You would find them here, okay? This is your path light, excuse me. I wanna go to directional lights. You're gonna find them here. Here's your Craftsman. I could click here and add it from here. I could go back to your home button so you can find your copy. You know, fixture shows up again on your clipboard. Go back to your design and click the image, hit paste. It'll paste a giant one up here. Now, because I already had these placed, I could have just clicked one of these guys and copied it from there and it would be sized the same. So let me just hit undo and get rid of this big guy. And I'm gonna click this little one and I'm just gonna copy it. Go to the home button, copy. Now we've got it there and we need to add 2. One here, one here. I'm gonna hit paste again. Now this paste. All right. Oh, they're up in the upper left-hand corner. I didn't see that because they were small. Let me hit undo. And these kind of things it'll happen. They're there. You just got to find them, just like I didn't. So sometimes it throws them together. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. But let's pull this here. Now let's copy it. Or I think we'll have to copy again so that it pastes it right here. So I'm going to hit copy again and then hit your paste button. And it still threw it up here. Always look in the upper left-hand corner. That's where you'll probably find it. Not sure why it wouldn't throw it right here, but it didn't. So bring these over. You can place them. They're already to scale with the others. So this is going to be somewhere in here. This one here is going to be somewhere over here. And if you notice, I accidentally moved my image. I can grab that and put that back up in the upper left-hand corner. So this fixture here is kind of aiming the right way. This one's not. I'm going to show you how you can correct that. If you click that image, you're going to go back up to the home button here. You got to hit the home button. Oh, excuse me. We're going to hit the format picture button to see the rotate thing. This will open up your grid here. And if you go over here, you'll see a line, bring forward, bring backwards, group, rotate. We want to hit rotate. This allows you to just flip this image. You got this little circle arrow here. That just spins the fixture around in a circle. That won't do us any good. I'm just going to hit undo so I can bring it back to the position it was. This here allows us to mirror image this, either just flop it 90 vertical. As you can see, as I hover over here, it does flip that fixture. That one's not right. We're flipping horizontal. Click that. Bam. So now I'm faced proper. Now we have all of our fixtures placed. Now the other thing is that we want to do is we want to group these with the other ones, and I'll show you how to do that. So if you move this image, you can see none of these fixtures are part of the image right now. We want to group them and make them into one image. So I'm going to shrink my screen down just so I see the whole image here, like so. If we go to, when you click this anywhere on your grid, it'll take you back to the home screen, by the way. So I'm going to go here. You're going to see the hourglass, or I always call this an hourglass. It's a magnifying glass. Click the magnifying glass. You're going to see all this commands come up. What we're interested in here is to go to select objects. Click that. You can see my cursor, the hashtag or crosshairs turn to an arrow now. What we're going to do is we're going to take the arrow, place it down below the picture, somewhere on the grid, and you're going to click down, left click, and draw up so that we're grabbing everything on this photo. And in this case, it grabbed these two to anchor them to the photo. I need to back up one thing. You can see we missed this. And part of the reason is because I've got these already grouped. Let me make sure that we're ungrouped on everything so I can show you this. So you can go to group, ungroup. All right, I'm going to hit ungroup again. Just make sure I want to ungroup everything that's grouped. Now you can see how these things came up. Let's make sure everything's ungrouped. Everything's ungrouped. I'm going to click over here and we'll start over and we will group these now as one continuous deal. I'm going to get rid of this. You don't need to see this right now. So if you highlight it and make sure you're clicked just on there, not the image, and you can go ahead and just hit your delete button. It'll get rid of that portion. If you by chance had the picture and you deleted it, remember, undo, you can bring it back.
Greg, I just want to interject. You're missing a bullet light on the left side of the garage that disappeared. So you need to do something about that, okay?
Okay. So we're missing one of our bullet lights here. On this screen, when we go to, if you click here and you go to select fine, you're going to see there's a selection pane. This allows you to see all your images here. Like this picture here, if I hit the eye, it gets rid of the picture. That's what that one was. So let me see, let me get rid of that. And somehow I accidentally deleted one of my fixtures. So let me bring that back. We need to add another bullet light. It needed to go here. So I'm just going to go ahead. We've already got it here. If I paste it, it actually moved that. I think it pasted it right on top, and it did. See that? So I'll move this over here. Now we're back in business. I'm glad this happened because now you can see some of the things that can happen while you're doing this and how you can correct it. Now, I want to get rid of this window here so you can see this better. So now we're going to group these things all as one continuous picture. So we go up to the magnifying glass, go down to the bottom. We're going to click select objects. And now we click down here on your grid and just highlight it up like this by clicking your mouse. Now everything, including the picture, you can see the pictures highlighted by the zero little O's, as well as all your images, okay? By the way, one thing I'd like to mention, when you get small with the images, it's easier when they get small like this. You're going to see this little crosshair pop up on an image. As they're bigger, let me show you. I'll just, whoops, see, I had them all selected, so I did them all. Let's hit undo. Go back to this. Just let me back out of this again because I want to mention this. This gives you handles to move your fixture You could do it here, but it's hard to grab in there sometimes. If this was a bigger photo, when you size this bigger, you don't have those little crosshairs, and you can just grab the fixture. Let me hit undo, 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 undo. All right. Actually, let me redo back there. We got that. Okay, so that's where we were. So let's go back, select objects, boom. And I turned it off. I was already in select object because we should get an arrow just like you see here. There it is. There's my arrow. Now, click down somewhere on your grid and just click your mouse, drag it up, highlights everything. Go to Format Picture now. Go over to Group. You can see this right there. If you hit this, you click on it, it'll pull down this, and we're going to group this as one image. Now, if I grab this, it is one continuous image. So you've done your design, you've got it as a one continuous image, and now you're ready to share this with your client. I'm going to show you another step here that you can give to your install crew and stuff so that we can color code these so they know what this fixture is versus this one and so on. So I've already done this, and I'm just going to go over here. I labeled it color for right now. See how these were color coded? Now they stick out. We know what it is. Obviously, we know what the path light is. I don't need to tell them what that is. But in order to color these fixtures a different color than their actual bronze, or maybe you want to color them because they're not showing up so well on the image, all you have to do is click on a fixture. This one's not colored, so we want to click on that image. Now, when this whole thing, this is still one continuous picture. If I move this, you can see, well, the image isn't attached, but the fixtures are all one. Hold on, I had two dots there. Let me show you that. See that? When you have two dots, you're going to separate the image from there. You want one dot, like so. Now it's one continuous thing. You can pull these things apart, even though you've placed them as you group them together. So we're going to click this one image. I got to double click it. Go up to, this will be already open because we're clicked on an image. We're going to go up to color, and all these cool fixtures pop up that are already colored. And in this case, this is going to be the 105 lumen 36 degree. So it's going to be this kind of little brighter bronze color. Boom. And I've just changed the color on that. You want to make it a different color? Again, grab the picture, double click. You got to make sure it looks like this. Go up here. I could change it to, you know, a bright yellow fixture if I wanted. I don't know if it's bright yellow, but yellow. So that is how you can actually create, you know, a color code and do a legend on here. To actually make your legend, you can do it many different ways. You can work down here in your Excel document. You can place your fixtures. We've got 4 fixtures there. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you keep clicking on it, it will line them up like this. The next thing you do, if you want to get them in a perfect line, is I'm going to just pull these apart a little bit. It doesn't matter how much. All right. I'm going to just get them separated somewhat close, maybe to where we're going to place them to make a ledger like that. They're not perfect. I'm going to show you how you can get them perfect. Either you can use that selection tool here and select these like this, and you can go back to Format Picture. Now we're going to go over to Align, and we're going to align them in the center. Boom. Now they're all aligned perfectly center of each other, but I want to spread them out evenly. Go to Align, and you see here it says distribute horizontal. I don't want to distribute them horizontally because we're working vertical. So you can see it shows that here. Hit it here, and it kind of split them up so they're all placed even distance apart. Now you can click a cell. In order to do this, when we have this arrow, we have to get back to the cursor. So one way to do it is you can just keep clicking the cell till it goes back to the plus mark or the cursor, or you can hit, let me go back and show you if we have that arrow, we got the arrow. Otherwise, I can just hit the escape key on my keyboard and it'll go back to this. So there's a couple ways to get there. So now you can type in here. This is you know, a CC SL 18336B, and you've got that one there. I want to change that to the proper color. These are the 18336s over here, so that's a kind of an orange color, which is that one there. So I'm going to go up here, format picture, color, and I'm going to pick the color of that one, which is that. And now that picture is there. You can do that for every one of these, and now you've got a ledger. Now, if you want to put the legend, I should say, up here, you can do that. These are all boxes, text boxes that I put up here and just filled them out, and I have lined them the same way. You can do it that way, or you can just keep them down here. It doesn't matter. In how I got these all lined up perfectly was I just highlighted these text boxes, and text boxes are insert. You can find a text box right here, hit it, and it'll insert it wherever you want it. Okay. I'm going to undo. So you can change the color of the text box this way, shape format, go here, the shape fill. That's what's going to fill the background of the shape. You can make it white. I don't want it white. I wanted it clear, so I hit no fill. If you want to change the color of the border, if you want a border on those, you would go up here, the outline. That's the border that is the perimeter around here. You can make it red, and it would make that red. I don't want it red. I'm going to hit undo. Shape format, the same thing. If you don't want the outline, no outline. Okay. To change the text color, you're going to highlight the box, make sure it's highlighted and your cursor isn't in the middle of there. Let me zoom this up a little bit so you can see that. Scroll down. You can see my cursor's in the middle. I won't be able to change the color of the text unless I'm clicked on the whole box, the whole text box. So click that, go up here, go back to home, and here's your text color. So you can change your text color to black, yellow, white, whatever you want. Okay. So this shows up good on this green background. I like the white text, so there we go. And I've just created a ledger. I can give this to the install guys, and they know what fixture I designed to place here, what one here, so on. So that's a pretty cool tool to create that legend. So let me delete these. And remember, you always want to save as you go if you want, so that you don't mess anything up. So you can always just constantly hit your save button. This is my save button. This is it's labeled Smith Resident. You can see up here, it shows the name of it. So now I've got my design. The next step here, you might want to show them the proposal. I made up a proposal in Excel right here. So I actually made this in Excel. You can create whatever, this little icon here, or shape was in my shape formats, insert. You're gonna find there's all sorts of shapes in here. The moon was located next to the sun right here. So I just inserted the moon, and you're able to actually do some cool things in there. So if you want to make the moon bigger or have it, the crescent moon, you can do that. So in here, I actually like to put front yard. This is all we're doing in this case. I've got two fixtures here. I label them, what they're doing and what they're lighting. In this case, we're lighting the urns. These are the two that are lighting the urns. I put the list price here. It's not my installed price, but it's not the what I use for my install price, but it allows them to think, if we multiply this by 2, they might not think that you're getting that much for the installation. And it works out real well as the more fixtures they have. These are, 172. So you can see that it does show that there's a little bit on the install cost. I never share my cost with it. I always put the list price. Other thing I like to do is import the images on the document so they know what the fixtures actually are going to look like from our CALED2 module that's going to go in the path light to make it LED, a transformer, our our time clock digital. And we're going to actually add this to here. I put in a request to do that. I just copied those off of our website, and it's pretty easy to do. All you got to do is blow the image up, right click it, and hit copy. And then you can bring it over and paste it into your document. It's going to be huge. You'll have to resize it. But what Judy is going to do is she's going to remove, so there's not a background on them, just like there isn't here. As you can see, there's no background. So that's how you incorporate that. I always put in a little thing down here, what the job includes. It includes all the labor, fixtures, gives you 1 year labor. I specify that fixtures have a lifetime warranty. The LED has a 10-year warranty. Your components are a 3-year warranty of the transformer if it's got a photo cell timer and so on. I always ask for 50% due once they accept the proposal. I didn't want to be out of pocket on any of my equipment. So I always put 50% due, which that typically always covered all of my equipment. Then the worst case that would happen is I'm out of some labor if they should not want to pay me for some reason. I never had that situation. I always designed and installed as if it was my own house. I have actually been known to, if I forgot to add a fixture and I thought it would look better if a fixture was there, sometimes I just threw in an extra fixture. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit in this learning Excel and how to do a design. This is all the guys that in your area. This is me. I'm in the Midwest. You got Jeff Hesser, Mid-Atlantic. You've got Matt, he's the Florida sales manager. And then you've got Ryan, he's our New England. You can reach out to them, and this will be posted on our website, so you will be able to access this. Thank you, everybody. And I hope you guys learned a little bit on how to do a design in Excel. Thank you, everybody.